Hello everyone, this is Lawrence. I've been trying to do a video a day during the weekdays, and I posted a video on a product called Disc Gear. You can watch that as well, and a few other videos. This one I'm doing on something a little. It's a little different. Um, I am a thrift store vinyl purchaser. I hit all the thrift stores and get all cool vinyl. Okay, so that's one level of vinyl collecting. The next level is much higher up. It's new vinyl, the 180 grams. Okay, and I do that too. Not as much because it's very pricey. A lot more money, and since I'm on a fixed income, I can only afford to buy one or two a month, but that's all right. And this is 180 gram vinyl, or some of it's not on 180 gram, but on good quality pressing vinyl of newer artists or your classic releases. Okay, I do both. If I like a new artist enough, I want to go out and buy the music, I usually, save my couch money and purchase it on vinyl, and you get a download card too. Um, you're spending about $15 more than a CD, but you're getting the vinyl, the artwork, and the card, so you're getting all those extras. Um, Also, I have replaced a number of my all-time favorite albums with 180 gram. And there's an aspect of it that doesn't get talked about a lot. Um, I mean, when a album is released on 180 gram, especially a classic album, much focus is on the sound quality. Okay, but there's one other thing that doesn't get mentioned too much, and that's the reproduction of the album cover. And I've seen some that are terrible reproductions. Ziggy Stardust, I saw one that was just absolutely horrible. Hotel California. Um, the reproduction of the album cover was not clear. It just of low quality. But I want to share with you two albums I got recently from Elton John, two of his classic albums, and the reproduction of the album cover is fantastic. And the first one, the word fantastic is in the title. This is on 180 gram vinyl, and it includes the reproduction of the original two booklets, the lyric booklet and the scrap booklet, along with the poster and, of course, the vinyl. What I notice, and here's my old copy back in the day when I first got it upon release. Okay, if you look at this here, it's old and worn, but when you press it up against the new one, you could see the coloring. Look at Elton's jacket. Okay, it's a lot brighter blue. The skyline there is a lot brighter, so it looks like it's almost like they cleaned it up, and it comes right at you. Same thing on the back. And the new one, the old one. Now, I don't know how good this will come out on the camera. This camera, it's grainy and dark, but the reproduction artwork on this is just stunning. Very nice to look at. You know, it's like the 13th chapel's been cleaned up. And this one, my original, I'll hold them up again. The original, the new. The original right here, the new right here. You can just see how it's been cleaned up and bright. And also the gatefold inside is nice as well. The gatefold for the inside. And now on the audio side of this new reissue, it's absolutely fabulous as well. Unbelievable. The music, you could just, sonically, it was like I'm hearing the album for the first time. But the new album, the older one. So also the new one has the barcode, which didn't exist at the time of upon its release. And of course we all know Captain Fantastic was the much anticipated album from Elton. He was at the top, okay? And this was the first album that ever debuted at #1 on Billboard album chart. Then the other classic Elton John album I got, which I was impressed with the reproduction of the album cover. I looked at all of them. They're all, it seems like they took as much care into reproducing the album cover as they did with the music itself. The other one is Madman Across the Water. This is the new one. And look how nice, crisp and clear that is. Okay. Also, I noticed, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, I did not know this because when I purchased the album, it was 1974 and the album's been out a number of years. But this reissue has a texture to it. So you run your fingernails lightly across there, you can hear it. It has a nice texture, you can feel it. Okay. So I think when this was first issued, did it have that texture? So were they being true to the first reissue? When I got it, here's my original copy, 1973 or 4 when I got it. That texture's not there. It did come with the original booklet, which is cool. Gatefold. And then years later, after I really wore this one out, record companies were putting their major releases that already made money on the Super Saver Nice Price series, and MCA Records had their own version right there. So I repurchased this album for like $4.99 years later in the mid-'80s to replace my old worn out copy. No gatefold, just the album, and it was on the sky rainbow label as opposed to the this label right here. And when this album came out, it had another label, so finally came down to this one. And the label for the reissue is on the label, the overseas label, but we won't get into that. Also, let me do a comparison. here's my 1974, 73, I forgot what year I got it, right here with no textures. I mean, the reproduction of the album cover was okay, but it's a little bit too bright, where here they toned the coloring down a little bit. And I think it looks a lot better, a lot sharper, okay? Again, this camera probably can't do it justice. And a nice spine on Captain Fantastic too. You see the spine there, but here where you could really read it when it's inserted into the shelf. Also, the reissue, you open it up, the booklet is pasted on to the inner sleeve here, where it was inserted into the jacket itself for my 74 copy. And also, they did a blue tint on the pages, where my original booklet was white. The background was white. Here it's blue. Great spine, and the edges are nice and clear and sharp, and I'm keeping these in a plastic vinyl sleeve to keep them in pristine condition. And also, when they go on the shelf with the other albums, they're not going to be crammed in there. I'm going to give them some room. You see this one here, you know, it's been crammed in with my other albums throughout the years. But my new vinyl, when they go on the shelf, I give them some room, so, you know, like right here, it doesn't get dent in. And I'm keeping these as pristine as I can. I'm keeping them like new because I want to, if I die, my wife survives, I want her to, you know, sell them at a reasonable price for somebody else can have, to be passed on. And if they're in really great condition, she can get some money for them. You know, if I paid $24 years later, she probably could sell it for, we're not going to be greedy, maybe $18, you know. So that's my video for today. Because of this nice packaging, I think I'm going ahead, and because I'm such a huge Elton John fan, I have followed him throughout his entire career, through all the highs and lows, and brought every commercial album. I even got Captain Fantastic and Tumbleweed in this edition CD release. So, you know, they're always remastering and cleaning the stuff up. But I think I'm going to go ahead and buy the Elton John catalog, the early years, 1970 through 75. And I already got 2 of them. I'll probably get Honky Chateau next, or perhaps his self-titled American debut album. So, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And I want to welcome you to this page. If you're new, if you're watching this video for the first time, or if you've been watching, I want to thank you for tuning in. Please leave any comments you like. I always welcome comments. I want to wish everybody a nice day. Take care. Bye.